give me fire, give me that which I desire. All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV in the Extreme Power League. Tonight we've got the next gen cars here at Vegas. Gonna be a short one, only 75 laps around this track. Gonna be super entertaining. I'm Dean Doucette. Alongside me tonight, Mr. Adam Newton. Mr. Newton, it's the next gen cars at Vegas.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good field tonight, Dean, and looks like we might have a record crowd.
Yeah, great turnout here for the boys tonight. We get a look in on our keys to the race here. Of course, patience. You talk a lot about it, Adam. Patience is so important at all of these type of races.
Yeah, patience and pit road tonight, folks, and saving that right front tire for the long run. But pit road is going to make or break the winner tonight.
Absolutely, it will. Qualifying almost wrapping up here this evening as these guys get ready to go. What do you think about tonight? I mean, we talked about the keys. Who are your favorites here this evening?
Well, of course, I mean, you got to mention this guy week in, week out, Nicholas Tong on the pole right now. And Dylan Carver is in second, and don't don't give up on this cat. Keith Long, he's a repeat winner in this series. He's in fourth place, Dean.
Don't forget about points leader Phillip Willis up there leading the way. You got Condi in fifth, Rother, Monahan, McRae, Menapace, and Patterson in the top 10 with the guys you had mentioned, Carrier in second. Phillip, like I said, Willis leading the way as the boys get lined up and ready to go here. So we got a little issue here. We'll get that straightened out.
There's some pretty colorful cars out there in the field today, Dean. Some really cool paint schemes.
Absolutely. Always great paint schemes out here. I love these cars. I love the way they look, man. They're just sharp as all get up here. Let's get into tonight's starting grid. It's Nicholas Tong on the pole with a time of 29.912. Dylan Carrier starts on the outside of row number 2. Joe Gregory he'll start on the inside of row number 2. Carrier in second. Keith Long will start in fourth position in the number 71. It's Trevor Keith starting fifth with Phillip Willis, our points leader, starting sixth here this evening. In seventh, Stan Carnathian with Daniel Monahan on the outside of row number 4. Patterson and Leiter in row number 5. McRae and Menapace will start in row number 6. Going a little further back, you got Man Jr. and Man. So they start side by side, a little father son combo there, I believe, with Jr. One up on the father. Osborne and Chilton will 15th and 16th. Manapudi and Wilkerson, Presley, Gran, Condi, Rother, Milhorn, and Ruckel round out the field.
Yeah, that's interesting. Father and son, and last week's winner starting in 13th place. Dean, let's see if he can bring it to the front this week.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of storylines here starting to develop as this series, gets on their way and through, 5 or 6 races here, we're starting to get a feel for who's who here. But with the constant change, I mean, they're always driving different cars, different disciplines here. It really brings another element into this, doesn't it, Adam?
Absolutely, it brings another element of excitement and tensions, and you get to see a little bit of rivalry starting, and it also shows who's got the skill with each individual car.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you might be a master of one, but are you a master of all? As we cycle through the field here, and you're right, some of these paints, we look in on the Snoop Loops car there. That's a nice looking car, Jeremy Osborne.
Pretty sharp. Yeah. So is Phillip Willis's car. He's got a pretty cool paint scheme.
You see Rother down here in the 30, or is that's Condi in the 18 in the Speedmaster, and we're about ready to go green flag racing here, I believe, as Tong leads him down with Carrier on the outside. Gregory and Long in row 2. Great jump by Tong. Carrier trying to hold second as Gregory pushes underneath him. Looks like Gregory trying to get it, but a big run on the outside here.
Yeah, I think someone must have got popped for pace speed right now, Dean. I just heard over the radio that Nicholas may have checked the field up on the beginning of the race.
Well, that's never good. Interesting. I didn't see anything that he had done there, but it's hard to see from the booth.
Yeah, the penalty's been waived off. He's been cleared.
So you got the 84 back here. He's starting to fall back a little bit. Stan Carnathian starting to make a move. Trevor Keith is already up to third. Carnathian fourth. And Brent Patterson up into fifth place. So these guys moving early. And you got to wonder, is this a mistake, Adam? Moving hard and pushing hard early on.
Yeah, right now with the track being so green, I think it's a little early to be pushing so hard. I mean, these cars, this track, the way that is laid out in the package we currently have in iRacing, it's more of a plate track. There's draft. You still got to have a lot of patience. It's a little bit of lifting, but yeah, it's more of a draft track right now.
Well, you say that, but we're not really packed up here, and there is separation going on. Do you think these guys will accordion back up here, Adam?
Oh yeah. It's just medium. I mean, you can see the front couple of guys are already starting to get into that form where it's draft racing. There is some guys I see right now that are kind of playing a different line. Maybe their car is not as they would like it, and maybe saving a little bit of tire right now.
It's really interesting. I'm watching the lines here as you see Trevor Keith rocking the high side, and he's really coming forward. So this high line is seemingly quite beneficial here this evening.
Oh, absolutely. And the momentum that he gets off that high line, he carries a ton of speed down the straightaways.
Yeah, he's looking strong. Keith in the Chiefs car. Not sure how the Chiefs did tonight, or today. I'm sure they did well, though.
I think it will only be a couple more laps. I think Keith might show Tong his nose, maybe. He's really getting an excellent run off the corner, Dean.
Yeah, early in the run here, though, only lap 6. A little further back, we check in on points leader Phillip Willis, currently in the 4 machine there, I believe on the outside. You see that 4 up on the rooftop there, the green and black machine, as he's in 7th position, down 1 so far, but it's early here in the run. He might be saving his stuff, cagey type of driver that he is.
Yeah, it definitely looked like I noticed him at the very beginning. He really didn't push the issue at the start of the race, Dean. It looked like he was kind of managing his equipment.
Well, you already see Keith Long in 6th. He was moving forward at one point, already starting to fade. So I think some of these guys know you cannot be going too hard too early. Monahan makes a move, gets a little loose, gets into the 21 a little bit, Cody McRae, but they all save it. There's some good driving. That allows William Mann making him, or that's Chilton actually, in the 14 machine, putting it down the middle. He's now on the high side, kind of stalls out a little bit there with McRae underneath him.
Yeah, and the other thing I see some guys doing, and this is kind of heads up driving. Some guys are, if you go side by side for lap after lap, you're going to burn your stuff up on the bottom. So, I've seen a couple of guys like, hey, man, here's the spot. I see you. And I kind of see that with Chilton right there. He just, the 53 of Monahan kind of recognized that, and he just let him go.
What about Dylan Caryer, second in points? Now, he's been staying along the bottom, and I got to think he's playing the long game here. We've seen it from him several times. He kind of knows what this car will do on the long run. And I think these guys who ride the bottom, it may pay off with tire wear as this run goes on.
Well, you remember back in Nashville, Dylan and Brent Patterson put on a hell of a show, lap after lap, and look who's coming. Brent Patterson is up the fourth, Dean.
Brent Patterson up 5 spots already in the number 9 machine, looking strong and coming forward. And he's bringing Stan Carnathan with him. Stan currently in 5th position.
Yeah, I think that for the most part, though, clean air is going to be the key towards the end of this race. Once the cars put down some rubber on the track and they start to get tighter and start to push, and you see each one of them when they went into turn one just then, all of them, they ran a different line. So I think they're
we got contact. That's Willis shot down the track. I think Willis and Keith Long got together there and shot Willis down the track. Both guys saving it. So Kerr's starting to get a little bit out of shape. The 53 here, Monahan, trapped behind Long, who's still trying to gather it up. These guys head down in the corner, almost 3 wide. Think better of it. Long way up the track one more time.
Yeah, they did an excellent job saving it. And another car that we got to watch out, man, the 57 of William Mann Sr. He has gained 7 positions since the start of the race, Dean. He's coming to the front.
Yeah, William Mann in that 57, sharp-looking car, and he's been moving forward, so that's good to see. Him and Junior both, Junior right behind him, so he's up 5 spots as well. You got Chilton back here in 10th. He's on the move as well. He's up 6 spots. Back up front, Tong still leading this thing. You got Carrier in 2nd, and Carnathan now into 3rd position as Keith is starting to fade a little bit. He'd been passed, so the Chiefs car out there early moving up. All of a sudden, it's going the other way.
Yeah, now we're really about to see a really big swing in these cars. We're now getting ready to turn lap 16, and usually between now to 20, you see the first initial phase of the change of the car, and you'll have a pretty good idea of, hey, am I overdriving it? Hey, do I need to drive it a little bit harder? But they'll definitely be able to tell here in the next couple laps.
Absolutely, they will.
But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing out the front guys. The front guys are being pretty patient, running their line, being smooth. And right now, and it's still a good fight for the guys back here in the back. Like I said, William Mann Jr. has now passed Senior, and he's in 7th place, Dean.
Yeah, the Manns are looking good. Junior, both Junior and Senior up 6 spots. Now on the back of Trevor Keith and closing in. Yellow. And we got yellow on the track. It looks like McRae. Something's happened to Cody McRae. Let's get a look in on it. So Cody McRae in the 21, a little wiggle there up on the high side, comes off the corner, another wiggle, correction. He collects Long, or Long gets into him. So there we go. Not much other damage, but some damage to Long and McRae.
Yeah, and they can use a fast repair right now. They have one of those, Dean, and he can get his car tidied up, and right now,
so we got Tong out front, Carrier, Carnathan, Patterson, and Willis, your top 5. Pit stops are imminent here.
I'm hearing on the radio that the 21 is getting a EOL penalty for the racing incident, Dean. So he'll have to start from the end of the line at the restart.
Well, I don't think he'll mind that too much. He's already there, so not too bad a penalty for Cody. He'll survive and try to improve that vehicle a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Everybody coming down pit road. Tong, Carrier, Carnathan, Patterson, Willis, Keith, Demands, father and son, Chilton, and Gregory in their top 10 entering pit road.
Yeah, I'd definitely get 4 freshies and a full tank of gas and go right back at it and see what they got.
Everybody getting in there. Looks everybody near the front being pretty clean. Tires going up and on.
And Tong looks like he's going to win the race off pit road.
Yeah,
It looks like
Carnathan slides into second.
that was a very good pit stop for him.
Man Jr. comes out in fourth. Man Sr. comes out in eighth. So big difference there with the Mans. Keith slides into fifth. Willops Chilton makes a move into seventh. So a little bit of a shake-up there, as I think Patterson lost a few spots there. Look in on some of these pit times. Patterson with an 18.2. Something happening there with the pit stop for the 9 machine. And let's
Yeah, I
just
definitely
see if
like.
maybe we can get a word with him. If we can just find him here, we'll get him in here.
Totally.
Brent Patterson, you got your ears on?
Yes, sir.
Dean Doucette up in the booth. How we doing this evening?
Oh, it's going all right so far. She's a little loose there in the long run, but we'll get a better handle over her, save more tire this time.
Absolutely. So the pit stop there a little long. Tell us what was going on pit road.
Well, we got. I mean, we did. I don't even know if you could call it hitting the wall. We kissed the wall one time, and it just gave me like 4.2 seconds of optional. So I just went ahead and got it. That arrow means everything.
Well, that's big there. Okay, Brett, I'm glad you got that fixed. Good luck out there this evening, man. Go get them, and I hope those adjustments work out for you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, definitely having
Sorry,
that damage.
Mr. Patterson, what room are you in?
Yeah, we get one. Number 2, I believe it is race channel 2.
And we had to do that on live TV. He's in Race Channel 2, folks. Patterson in there with his teammates. And he's, I like the way he was talking there, Adam. He knows what the car was doing. He's aware of it. He's making changes to not only his car, but his driving.
But not only that, he was still calm. He sounded calm and collected. That's the key to winning this race. Mm-hmm.
Great point made there. Yeah, he's cool under pressure here. He's not feeling the pressure. He figures it's early in this race, and he's right. Even though it is a short race, Adam.
Yeah, even with being a 75-lap race, I mean, he fell back to 9th, and we've seen with his car and his patience, I mean, there's no reason why he can't come back up to the front.
Pace car going around. Of course, we got some great sponsors here, like Beyond the Apex. These guys doing an excellent job sponsoring this league.
The pace car is going towards turn 3. They'll be getting ready for the restart.
Yeah, just about to get back into it here. These guys getting amped up and ready for action.
Yeah, it was pretty good, clean green start for the beginning of the race, Dean. That's good racing, man.
Absolutely. Very impressed. These guys did a nice job out there. And I think we're going to see more of the same here. It looks like these cars start to go away a little bit at about 20 laps. So here we go. Tong, Carnathan, Carrier, Man, and Keith up front. Tong launches pretty quickly. Carnathan stumbles a little bit through the gears, and that's going to bring William Mann right to his bumper. They're going to think
Got a
about 3
spinner.
wide.
Got a spin at the start-finish line, Dean. Looked like somebody spun their tires.
Someone spun something there, and we didn't catch who that was, Adam. If you get a look and see who had some problems, I think maybe Wilkerson has some kind of problem. Let me get a look in and see if we can get a look at Wilkerson and see what happened. So here towards the back of the pack, Wilkerson in the 77.
I think he might have had
Oh, and he just broke loose on him down through the grass. Wow. That was perhaps a bad shift. I'm not sure about that one, Adam.
Yeah, I think he had some help from that interesting transmission in these cars. Folks, I don't know if you're very familiar with the next gens, but the next gen cars went from the traditional H pattern to the sequential. And if you do not hit these sequential shifts just right, that will happen to you. You will spin out really easy.
Yeah, absolutely you will. So this caution here brought to us by our sponsors. We got Speedmaster Boats, championship winning design and world record setting RC boats. Butt Kicker, dude, they got great products there. Go check them out. You got MD Sim Racing for all your custom button boxes and steering wheels. MD Sim Racing has everything you need. Pay to win setups. Great, I've used them many times myself. And for all your custom logos and vehicle wraps, we do it all at Shorber's Racing Graphics. That's Shorba's Racing Graphics. Check them out. Beyond the Apex, we also had previously mentioned. So some great sponsors here, Adam, for these guys.
Oh, absolutely. We definitely got to give them a shout out for the guys in this league, and it's really important, and we appreciate them being on board and supporting them and all the drivers. I mean, it's crucial for having good commitments from great companies to be able to race.
As we bring in William Mann Jr. into the booth, you got your ears on, William.
Yeah, I got my big gorilla ears in here.
Gorilla ears, nonetheless. All right, all the better to hear those engines out there. What are you hearing? What are you feeling out on the track?
I feel some speed. Luckily, it's a night race, so the temps are a little bit lower. You kind of push these tires a little bit sooner than you really should. So
well, that's
hopefully
a big
get some
point,
long
isn't
runs.
it? I mean, you're up 9 spots on the evening, so you may be pushing a little bit. Are you pushing too hard? How are you feeling about your long run ability here?
I'm always pretty good on a long run. I was hoping there would be an early caution where I could really press the issue and get some draft runs and make up some spots, because I decided apparently I was going to be terrible at qualifying.
Qualifying always a big key, but you got one up on the old man right now. You beat him off a pit road with a good pit stop. How you feeling about this restart? Good?
I'm pretty good. Like I said, hopefully get some green flag runs in. I've seen a lot of people, even though I pressed pretty hard, they were starting to fall off a lot sooner. I think a lot of people have a lead foot. They might be burning their tires up way sooner than I was even going to. So a long run would be fun, man. Start picking some more people off like I did earlier.
Well, it seems like you got a good feel for it, William. Good luck out there tonight.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that was William Mann Jr. Him and his dad, they're doing a team thing. Good guys from North Carolina. We had the pleasure of talking to him last week after he won last week's race.
Yeah. William Mann Jr. or Senior won last week's race?
William Mann Jr.
Very nice for William Mann Jr. Already in victory lane, looking for another here. Tong still leading this thing on lap 25 of 75. Carrier right there in second. Carnathan, Mann, Keith. And then you got Willis, Chilton, Patterson, William Mann Sr., and Joe Gregory up in the top 10.
I was actually glad to hear him say, Dean, that he was using some of that draft. Remember, that's one of my keys to this race, to get up towards the front.
Yeah, it seems like these guys, the first couple we talked to anyway, they're thinking this thing out. I'm impressed with their mentality and their calmness as well, like you brought up, Adam.
Absolutely, and it's critical for the execution, and you can see who's executing right now because those guys are now coming to the front.
Take a look in on the weather here. The track temp 79. Nice racy conditions, as you heard Man Junior talk about, and he talked a little bit about some of these guys pushing too hard, and that's a product a little bit of the weather. It gets a little grippy out there, and you think you got a rocket. You get out there and you burn them up pretty quick, Adam.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That cooler weather, you burn the tires up twice as fast because you feel like Superman for those several laps, and that can definitely hurt you in the long run.
Definitely can. Here we go. Will we see something here tonight that we've seen in Xfinity or in the Cup in real life? Back down at Martinsville, boys getting pretty aggressive. We'll see what happens here. Tong, Carrier on the outside, just blinked there for a second. Carnathan in third. Another good start on the inside. Carrier a little slow. Man is getting great starts, but always is hindered by the guy in front of him.
Yeah, that outside line is always been kind of tough to get a good restart on, but Stan was able to get back around Dylan Carrier on that restart, and here comes Man. He's biding his time.
Carrier's having some real internet problems right now. This is really hindering his racing, and anybody getting around him, they don't want to get around him when he's blinking like that. Man Junior looking to take over third position. Man, this is scary stuff, Adam. When you're side by side beside a blinker, you don't know where he is. It's quite scary.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying on the radio race communications right now. That's a terrifying feeling in this sim racing.
And almost contact between the two of them. Looks like the connection has calmed down as Carrier holds on to that spot.
Yeah, that made me hold my breath real quick. I mean, that could have been a disastrous moment, Dean.
Yeah, I had a little on-air choke there just thinking about that one. Bunch of good-looking cars out here. Look at this pack. Everybody doing a wonderful job here this evening.
Yeah, and it looks like we went pretty good. There's a little bit of racing going on in the back right now. They're still filling each other out from it looks like 10th on back. But, once they settle down, I'm really interested. I mean, and this race is short. We only have roughly 40 laps to go, 45 now. You have to settle into a rhythm.
You do. Dylan Carrier to the point, going around Tong. Here comes Man looking to go around Tong. So all of a sudden, Tong, not as strong as he was in the first run. Is this just a product of guys learning what they're doing? Maybe Tong thinking more long run and Carrier and Man looking to get a little short run speed going?
Yeah, that's because right now you have a couple other guys that, are coming back up in the mix. I mean, look, Phillip Willis, he's made a great recovery from the early contact. He's now in the mix fighting for a top 5 place and coming forward. You got to be a little cautious, but you still have to go.
You do have to go, but it looks to me like a guy like Trevor Keith, he might have learned a little something. He's not up to the same pace he was earlier on, and I think that's purposeful. You've seen him start to fade towards the end of that run. This time looking solid. Carnathan in 5th, Willis in 6th, and then Chilton. How about Jason Chilton? Up 9 spots on the evening, and he's looking pretty solid here.
He looks sporty, Dean. He's been really consistent, and on the lap times, he's been as quick as the leader. He just needs a little bit of track position.
We hop on board with Chilton here, and you see him coming out of the corner here, looking pretty smooth. I like the way he's driving here. Not too much wheel turn at all. Just babying this thing around the corner. You can hear the wheels working just a little bit at the peak of the corner, but pretty good action here from Chilton.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to have a race for the lead. I saw William Mann Jr. had a heck of a run off turn 4, and Dillon was just able to hold him off just enough to keep the lead.
So as this settles in, we look back a little further here. 14th position of Mike Presley. He's got Julian Condi right behind him, along with Sean Rother. These three guys now up 5, 6, and 6 spots respectively. So they're not where they want to be, but they are moving forward.
They are moving forward, and I'm starting to wonder at the pace they're running, maybe they are saving tires. And I guess my next question is, and you know, based off what we were seeing in the preliminary runs, do they have enough gas? Who can make it to the end of this race?
Well, that's the big deal, isn't it? I mean, who's thinking about fuel? As you know, we have about 40 laps left in this race. How many laps can they do? Can they make it? I think this could be a fuel mileage situation.
I think it's definitely going, because by my calculations, it looks like if you were clutching it, you might be +3 to the end of the race.
Well, just so you know, people, Adam failed math in school, so we're not too sure about his numbers. But
And folks, if you go back and look at wind tunnel racing, you can see that Dean does not like gas mileage races, because he definitely failed his math class.
Little ribbon up in the booth. I thought for a minute there we hurt your feelings. You sounded a little sad there. Carrier out front, Tong in second. Man, trying to fight for second place right now.
No, we got to have some fun in the booth, and we have a great time, folks. If y'all didn't know by now, me and Dean run on Monday nights in his league, and he's an excellent driver. Sucks at gas saving, but he's excellent at a race. But yeah, you know, these guys got to start thinking about that.
Come on, I won a race on fuel mileage recently. I don't know, New Hampshire? Where was that? Homestead, I believe.
Iowa.
Oh, was it Iowa?
Yes, it was Iowa.
My memory fades me. Tong still holding off. William Mann Jr. up here for second. Big race. Look a little further back. Chilton still trying to make moves. Here he is underneath Phillip Willis.
Yeah, William is really putting the pressure on Carrier right now. He's got a great car. Just as I say that, Tong just got around him.
Looks like Carrier's still out front here. And
yeah,
man,
they're
I mean, the three of them are racing. Blocks being thrown all up and down the track goes Carrier.
Yeah, I was actually impressed to see the move that Tong made.
Oh, and he's loose. Man gets into him. So Carrier, a little wiggle, little contact. Great job by both of them and not wrecking. Tong walks away, and there's a big bonus for the 5 car.
And you know, last week we saw Dillon save the car, I can't remember how many times.
He was remarkable last week with the saves. The man can drive. I'll give him that. Dillon Carrier, second in points, man. You don't sleep on him. He saved that thing in miraculous fashion. More than one, he's loose again. Carrier's car is breaking away.
I'm wondering if he's burned his right rear up, Dean. The way the car is acting, it just looks like it's going into a complete slide.
Yeah, it looks like he might have the rear end a little too low, and she's starting to yaw out on him, and that'll burn that right rear off in a hurry. Stan Kernathan, we know what he can do in the long run. Here he is, working on Keith. Gets it to the bottom. It looks like he's going to make this pass.
He's been slowly chipping away at it, Dean. He's meticulous, very surgical precision-like moves. It's just one lap after another, just taking a little bit here, a little bit there. And the one thing I noticed about Keith is he's running a little bit more unconventional line through 1 and 2, which is giving him an excellent run down the backstretch.
I'll have to keep an eye on that out of Keith. Right behind him, Chilton I mean, we got William Mann Jr. up 11 spot. Oh, and Keith up into the wall. Not sure exactly what happened with Keith, but let's see if we can get a quick look in on that.
I'm wondering if he got a little bit loose off of turn 14.
So you see here, Keith right in front of the 14 here. It looks like a little wiggle there, and then another tiny little wiggle, and there he is, super loose, overcorrects into the wall, but he's going to come out.
Oh, he's got a blown tire. Dean, he's hit the wall in 3 and 4 trying to get down the pit road. His tire blew.
Wow, a tire blow. Early in the run to have a tire blow. It must have been from locking him up or something. Very strange. Don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah, he went down in the turn, and I'm actually hearing some guys are, oh, yeah, they're pitting. I told you, Dean, it's coming up. Pit road is opening up. A bunch of guys are hitting pit road right now, so they cannot make it.
Well, I'm not seeing anybody in at this point. Keith has come in, but others announcing they're coming in. Oh, and the caution comes out. Menapace got to avert pit road. I think he's going to be all right if he didn't get underneath that cone. So Kevin Menapace just avoiding disaster there. Keith, terrible timing on the caution for him. And we have a wreck. That's the 83 of Leiter. Under caution here, something happened to him.
Yeah, I was hearing on the race scanner, several drivers called, you know, and it's good driving etiquette to do this. They give you a heads up on whether it's Discord or on the main channel. But there were several guys that had mentioned that they were coming to pit road, and this has totally blown that strategy, Dean.
Yeah, well, lucky for several guys who were coming in. I mean, one more lap, they would have been burned really hard. So they escaped disaster there. These guys get ready to come down pit lane. Here they come. Mann, Caryer, Chilton, Carnathan, Willis, Mann Sr., Monahan, Patterson, all these guys coming in. Everybody's in.
I'm waiting on race control to see who they're going to announce who's going to have the EOL penalty. They're just going back and looking at the replay.
Tim Milhorn down here. There's Osborne in that sharp-looking vehicle. You see Tong getting off pit road. William Mann moves up. Carnathan out third. Chilton fourth. Carrier down to fifth on that pit stop as he makes some adjustments. Mann Sr., much better pit stop this time with a 14.8. That'll bring him out in seventh. Patterson come out in eighth. Monahan makes an appearance in the top 10, so the 53 moving on up. And Joe Gregory, who's still down 7 spots, has made a nice pit stop here. He appears in the top 10 now. Condi and Milhorn right behind him here. Both these guys up 10 and 11 spots, doing a nice job.
Looks like Brent Patterson didn't have too good of a pit stop either, Dean.
Yeah, Patterson, let's take a look in on our pit board here and see what the 9. A 14.6 actually had a pretty good stop this time around. Did not have one last time as he fixed some damage, but looked like he did okay this time, Adam.
Did he? It just the pit stop looked kind of slow. That's why I was mentioning him and whatnot, and he's still in a good position running in 8th place, but it just didn't look that fast.
Well, just because I enjoy contradicting you,
I know.
Patterson with a 14.6, actually the fastest pit road time.
Maybe I need to go to Canada and get that free health care and get my eyes checked.
I told you, this is math, folks. You got to watch out for it. I mean, it brings that comment "slow is fast" to a whole new meaning.
That is true. Slow is fast.
Out front, Tong still leading right now, though. Looks like Keith is sitting up here. And in front of him, I think that's Presley. So Presley and Keith going to get a wave around here. One of them at least. One might be the lucky dog. One will get a wave around, and then Tong will be your leader.
Yes, I mean it's been some really good racing all around the track tonight. Been a lot of side by side, comers and goers, but I think we're getting ready to see, and this will be the first time that Jason Chilton has actually had good track position in the top two rows.
Joe
So I'm
Gregory, you
excited.
got your ears on?
Yeah.
Joe Gregory joins us up in the booth. A little bit of struggle from where you qualified, but looks like you're starting to gather some momentum here with a good pit stop. How you feeling, Joe?
Well, if I can get some long runs, I think I could probably do something, but these short runs are killing me.
Yeah, absolutely. They can be tough out there. Any adjustments you make during this stop?
No, just 4 tires and fuel.
All right, Joe. Well, go get them, man, and get out there and try and get us a win here.
All right, thank you.
All right, brother. All right, that was Joe Gregory, currently back in 11th position, but he's starting to make some progress back towards the front. Tong, Man Jr., Carnathan, Carrier, Chilton, your top 5, Man Sr., Willis, Monahan, Patterson, and Condi now in the top 10.
If you look at our running sheets from where they qualified, it's all over the place. The only one that's really been really consistent, Dean, has been Tong. He's been up front the entire run.
Monahan to the back of the pack, pace car off, Tong leading him down, and looks like Man trying to get a jump, didn't time it right, had to check up. Carnathan will take a peek and get a run on him on the inside. Chilton right there looking, Carrier's there looking.
Yeah, I think he's going to give up that second place position, but he can tuck in right now, and they'll probably suck up back to Tong pretty quickly.
Carrier down underneath Chilton here. Trying to get a run off, but we've seen this early on with the tire grip. These guys on the outside get really hooked up, so making moves on the inside probably not wise early in the run, Adam.
No, and right now I see that Tong is using every square inch of this racetrack, and we're clicking down the laps now, Lean. We got 23 laps to go before we will see who will win this race.
Yeah, it is definitely clicking away. Carnathan up to second now with Man Jr. in third. Carrier still holding on. Actually, Chilton got around him, so Chilton, wow, up 12 spots now into fourth. That 14 continues his march to the front, Adam.
Yeah, and to get around Dylan, man, that's a statement. That's a power move.
It really is. Carrier takes a dive to the inside. Nothing doing there. Chilton closes the door.
And you can see right now that Carnathan and William Mann Jr., they have now caught back up with Nichols. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can hold him off. What a wow. Carnathan got a heck of a run on that high line. He's going to use it to his advantage, I hope, coming down to 3.
Yeah, he's adjusted here. He knows early in the run this high line's working, and he's going to use it. I think you'll see him come back down the track here as this run goes on. But right now, milking it a little bit, but William Mann Jr. continues to march forward. Up into second, slides up in front of Carnathan, takes some of that air off his nose, and he's on his way looking for Tong.
Yeah, Dylan just got around Jason, so Jason, he's tucked back in behind Dylan Carrier. Dylan looks like he's going to try to make his bid to get right past Carnathan coming out of 3.
What about Condi back here? The 18 machine of Julian Condi is up 13 spots. He's our biggest mover currently into 8th position.
think he said it's time to go.
Yeah, having a good run out here. Nice to see Julian doing well there. Of course, he's rocking that Speedmasters logo on the front. Beautiful looking car.
Yeah, it is. It's very eye-catching. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the race, the paint schemes tonight are phenomenal. Got a good, colorful field, lots of great graphics.
Here's Scott Wilkerson. We haven't given him a lot of airtime tonight. He's up 8 spots in that 77 machine. A very clean look on that machine. No sponsors, people. You're looking to sponsor someone. Scott Wilkerson looking for some sponsorship.
Absolutely. That's a heck of a comeback from his earlier spin in this race, Dean.
Yeah, up into the top 10. In front of him, Patterson's starting to look pretty good as he stalks Condi.
Yeah, things are really getting heated up at the front right now.
Yeah, back up front. These three are getting all together. There's 5, 6, 7 of them right there in a pack now as this thing is really starting to heat up. 18 to go here in the Las Vegas 100 in the Extreme Power League. Well, who you got, Adam? As Chilton works on Carnathan. Carnathan a little bit loose here.
Right now, the guy I got my money on, I think he can hold it off. I think Tong will get his first win this year.
I think you got a little Tong favoritism in you, but Tong looking strong, no doubt about it. Willis back in 6th.
I think he's been fast everywhere, Dean. He's just had, some tough luck and whatnot. I mean, he's well due for a win.
Look a little further back to Patterson and Condi. Condi cannot clear Patterson. Patterson running that middle to high groove and just holding them at bay.
This is the tightest the whole field has been in. The top 7 guys are all within a second right now.
Yeah, we look a little further back beyond 12th, 13th is Keith Long. Then you got Matthew Leiter. He's starting to make a move. He comes under Long. There's Trevor Keith trying to bounce back. And you got Monahan, who was just dropped to the back of the field. He's starting to move forward. 15 to go. They're trying to get whatever they can get.
Absolutely. The heat is on right now. You got to do it. It's time to go.
Back up front, Tong, Man Jr., Carrier, Carnathan, and Chilton, all there, all possibly looking for this victory with 14 laps to go.
That Ford is looking good up front, ain't it, Dean?
I'm sorry, did you swear on air?
No, I'm a Ford guy. I like my Mustang. And you know that the Mustang is the best American-made car built.
And I know that.
Yeah, because it wasn't built in Canada.
Well, I owned a Mustang, so I'm not anti anything, but, poking a little fun there. You got some people, back in the day, Adam, the loyalty to the brands was extreme. Those are fighting words if you picked one company.
Absolutely. And, things are still that way. We saw that this weekend in the Cup Series and Xfinity and stuff. And I'm waiting to see if he's going to Ross Chastain it on the last lap.
So Man Jr. still hunting, but Tong been leading this thing, doing a great job out front all night long. The 5 machine, he also looking for some sponsorship, folks. Get out, get a hold of them. Get your company up on that car. Tong leading and looking good. I'm not sure anybody's got anything for him here this evening.
Now, the one car I keep looking at, and he's getting real sporty with Dylan Carrier right now. Jason Chilton has come back to life, Dean. He's really rocking that high side, and he's actually gotten around Dylan and starting to run William Mann down.
Yeah, Chilton. Let's hop on board with Chilton again and see how he's... Oh, and right in front of him, the 29, a Man Jr., a little loose. Man's got to run. What's he going to do? Or Chilton's got to run. He backs out of it. Wow. Here he goes, peeking down, trying to get clean air. And you can see that 29's yawing out. Here we go. To the inside goes Chilton.
He's got a strong car, and he's showing it right now. He's really, really going right now.
Yeah, he's got a long run machine. 10 to go. Is it enough? Can the 14 come back and run down Tong? Here comes Carnathan. The 82 making his move, and yellow comes out. Oh, it's Monahan spinning around.
Wow, and I think that might have just saved William Mann from losing a position. Now I see that.
And it saved Tong because Chilton was coming.
Yeah, he was rocking and rolling that high side.
Wow, this is just a little self spin here, Adam. We're not sure why Monahan was down below the yellow line, if he was thinking of a pit stop or what. But here he comes down into the corner. And just a little wiggle, couple little wiggles. That car really not handling well. He gets down on the apron for some reason. I don't know if he was thinking about pitting or what. Back on the track, man, and a couple people get a lick out of that. So that's unfortunate right there. Pit stops are imminent. Well, this is where champions are made here, Adam.
Absolutely.
And championships are also lost here. Oh, and Tong stays out.
Wow.
Chilton, everybody else coming on in. Tong will be hung out to dry unless someone stays out. Wow, Tong faked himself out.
I'm beyond words right now.
I can't believe it. He actually faked himself out.
Wow.
This is going to be a disaster for Tong. He will drop several positions here, even with not many laps left. I mean, maybe he knows something I don't. These are theories, not facts here, people. Carnathan wins the battle off of pit road. Chilton will file out in second. I actually like Chilton's spot. He'll start third. And I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Tong on 21 lap old tires. What was he thinking here, Adam?
We might go green with 3 to go. I mean, it's a extremely gutsy call, but I would have taken tires, Dean. I don't think this is going to work out.
I don't think this is going to work out at all.
Yeah. I hate it for him because he's ran a brilliant race.
We bring in Mr. Phillip Willis into the booth. Phillip, you got your ears on.
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
Well, we had a little pit stop there. It looks like Tong has made a critical mistake, but your race, you've persevered here from some early problems here in 5th position. How you feeling about this shootout?
Let's just see what happens.
Let's just see what happens, Adam. No real thoughts. How you feeling? You calm behind the wheel right now?
Oh, I'm good. It's a wonder I haven't wrecked this thing yet. There was twice that I had to put a save on this car, but it's slick. We got how many laps left?
There's 6 to go right now.
It's going to be interesting. You're about to see some interesting racing here for green, white, checkered.
This is going to be highly entertaining. Ooh. Phillip, we'll be rooting for you, man. You go get him out there.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
All right. Adam Phillip Willis, you know, he finds himself here in 5th position. He's got to be pretty happy with that. Like, when you have a race like this where it's been a little bit of a challenge, whether it's your own doing or not, and you find yourself in the top 5 late with a restart, are you thinking, hey, I got to get up and steal this win? Or are you thinking, I'm just happy to have 5th. I'm going to take it easy here.
I think I'd go and steal the win. I mean, he had the excitement in his voice. I think this is one of those things, hold my beer and watch what happens.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, he was pretty cagey there at the comments, so I got to think you're right on him.
yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, and right now, I mean, the way it's looking, we're going to go back green with 4 to go, and this is anybody's race in that top 5, Dean.
This is getting crazy, man. 5 to go. It'll be 4 to go when we restart. Tong on old tires. Carnathan on the outside. Chilton, who's got the long run car, can he crank it up on a short run? Million Man Jr., he's been pretty quick on short and long. Willis and Carrier back in 6th now. He'll be looking to do some damage. And then you got Gregory and Patterson. Man Senior and Leiter appears in the top 10.
I think Nicholas Tong is going to have to get the restart of his life right now on them old tires.
Well,
And
you could watch a wheel spin too.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. The wheel spin, and you can see that he's getting real close to stand right now, going down into 4, and that kind of will take the wind off that car. Let's see what happens.
That's an interesting strategy here, rubbing him up towards the wall before the start. Tong being highly aggressive, trying to do all he can. I mean, I think he's got to throw in the towel. He's cooked, but here he goes. Good launch. Carnathan right into 2nd. Chilton under all kinds of heat, high and low.
Wow,
Looks
what a
like
restart.
Tong's rocking pretty good out there on this restart. Maybe we don't know what we're talking about. 4 laps to go. Tong, Carnathan. Here comes Chilton down to the inside.
Right now, let's see who's going to get the run off the 4.
Carnathan trying to get that big run on the high side. Looks like Chilton could be in a bad spot with Tong. Can he get underneath them? Tong goes up high, swings back down low. Tong doing a great job, but there goes Carnathan with the outside run.
Wow, what a move by Carnathan. He just put that car in the wind.
Unbelievable. The 82, Stan Carnathan up there. They're 3 wide, looking 4 wide. Willis on the high side. Tong's wrecking.
He just lost
and
it.
he's got taken out Patterson and others. There goes Man
wow.
Jr. And there goes
wow.
Menapace, I believe, involved. Condi's involved. There's going to be some angry drivers out here. This might be a bad situation for Mr. Tong, and several cars will not be happy with that.
Yeah, that took out some really good. Nicholas just had to tow. I mean, that's a heartbreaker right there.
You hate to see it, 21 lap older tires, and you're out there, you want to do all you can. He did better than I thought, but at some point I think you got to kind of concede that you don't have the car to be where you are. But tough break for all those guys.
Wow, he just lost it, Dean. He just got loose, and that's it. I mean, he took out William Mann Jr., the 57, the 9 of Brent Patterson. I mean, that was some really good cars that got taken out in that.
Yeah, it certainly was. Let's see if we can get a replay in on this.
Yeah, and I just saw on the
you see Tong there. He breaks loose, corrects, gets into Willis, down the track into Carrier. Man, Patterson involved. The 57 gets a chunk of that. That's William Mann Sr. getting involved. The 42, that's Menapace there. Patterson wrecked as well. Wow.
Took out some good guys. I mean, but like Phillip Willis said, here we are. Hold my beer again. He's going to restart in 3rd place, Dean. I think he's got a good shot to win this.
Yeah, Willis out of nowhere finds himself now in third. Now you can see the scrape on the side of his car. That was from the 5 car. He did a great job. You know, Willis, we talked about Carrier save and stuff, but Willis is showing he can handle these machines too. A little rub there barely affected him at all, Adam.
Absolutely. I think he still got a good chance.
And what about Chilton up there? I mean, take nothing away from Stan Carnathan. He's talented. He knows what he's doing. He rocked that high side right to the front as Chilton got trapped behind Tong momentarily. So Chilton looks fast. Carnathan looks fast and smart. Willis is your points leader. And how about Joe Gregory? You know, he started in third position, fell back, way back to like 20th position. Here he is, worked his way all the way back up to fourth.
Yeah, and you know, he was a little weary of these short runs, but I mean, it's kind of paid off for him, Dean. He's in the top 5 now, and he's looking to get a good finish. And I would, especially on having a long run car, if I could be in that position, I'd take a top 5 any day of the week.
You got Matthew Leiter in the Red Bull machine up into the top 5. What a job by him. Man Senior, Trevor Keith, 6th and 7th. How about Mike Presley in the 17? He's up 11 spots. He's in 8th. Tim Milhorn, he's picked up 14 positions, now sits in 9th.
Yeah, now we're going to have another green-white checkered, and got different players, you know, right behind them that haven't been there all race. And I mean, I'm still liking the way that Jason and Stan are running. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the 4 of Phillip Willis. He's still got a shot, but those 2 guys have had some restarts.
Man, oh man, I don't know. I don't know who I like, who I don't like. I like them all.
What's your gut telling you, Dean? Come on, you got to choose somebody.
My gut's telling me to let you pick one, and I'll take the field.
I don't know. That KFC car is making me kind of hungry, so
I mean,
I'm kind of liking Jason on this restart.
I'm interested to see what Gregory and Leiter can do in 4th and 5th. I mean, we haven't seen them up here, and we barely watched them race. Like, they're unknowns here. They could come out of nowhere and be fast. We really don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, I was kind of surprised to see, even though we had, you know, just a short burst of run, I mean, fresh tires is everything. I mean, we saw it today. I'm surprised we didn't have any takers on that last caution.
No takers on this caution. Everybody getting them last time around. Carnathan, Chilton, Willis, Gregory, Leiter, and Man Senior get lined up. Pace car late dart off the track. Stan Carnathan leads him down.
Green, green, green.
Little checking and going back there as guys trying to get it right. Looks like Willis got the good jump, but Carnathan gone. Oh, and they're wrecking behind. It's Milhorn.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Milhorn Patterson's involved. Looks like Man Junior's involved. And this is a bit of a disaster.
Wow.
I'm not sure if we're going to finish. It looks like this may be the finish. I'm not sure. Carnathan, Willis in 2nd, and Chilton, and they're still running pretty hard out here.
I think we may have another green-white checkered.
Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to do this all over again. A total of 3 probably.
Yeah, and you know, since the 14 of Jason Chilton didn't get a good restart that go around, Phillip got the good jump and got around him, and that kind of shook. Matthew Leiter went around Joe, Gregory, and like you said, now we got some different players in this thing. This is going to be interesting.
It's getting crazy. I mean, Carnathan hates to see this. He got a great jump, but I think he can do it again. Stan Carnathan, man, he looks good in this 82. I love that car, too. A beautiful looking machine.
Looks like the 77 of Scott Wilkerson just got the EOL penalty and hit the back end of the 61 of Tim Milhorn, and that's what brought this caution out, Dean. And I mean, that's a tough thing. I mean, I know that Stan was looking forward to empty track. He envisioned the checkered flag. I mean, that's got to be just extremely frustrating.
Yeah, we just seen it there. So, we got the 77 of Wilkerson. Up in front of him, you got Keith and Milhorn on the inside lane there. They're pretty close. The 61's got a slight checkup. The 77 sees a run. There's no room. He forces it in, and he just turns Milhorn. I mean, Milhorn has got to be furious. He worked all night to get here. And, of course, Patterson and Mann Jr. getting collected there. They're not going to be happy either. That's the thing about these races, you spend, 74 laps making friends, and you spend one lap losing them all.
Yeah, and I mean, then you're just hoping you're not that guy that just pissed somebody off. You need a teammate. I think you're going to have a heck of a restart, Dean, and maybe a drafting partner. If I was the 4 car, I would kind of hang on the door to the leader and kind of stall out his run and jump when he jumps. That's about his, the best shot to win this race.
Yeah, I don't know what you do at this point, but I tell you this, I like Chilton's spot. Even though he lost his spot, he lost it probably because he started second. I like starting third. I think you know that about me, Adam. Hate starting in second. He could be able to follow Stan Carnathan right by Phillip Willis and have a shot at getting this win.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Joe Gregory's in 5th. If he could maybe give Jason a good bump or a draft, or give him a good shot on this restart to get going, he might have a shot for Stan going down in turn 1.
Anything's possible now. Leiter and Gregory currently 4th and 5th now. Keith back up here into 6th. It's William Mann Sr. back into 7th position. And how about Mike Presley now up 11 spots? He's in 8th. And Keith Long has made a reappearance in the top 10. Well, this league always produces some extremely exciting finishes, and I expect nothing else here. I think this is going to be a wild finish here, Adam.
Yeah, we're getting ready to line them back up, man.
Man, a few words there. He gave us the old
yeah. I mean, we've seen so much on these restarts, and it really hasn't been the drivers up front that are causing this situation. It's the drivers in the back that are having some issues. But
that's pretty standard. A lot of times what happens is you get fast guys at the back, and they start to try and come through that field, and it doesn't jive with the other guys who are a little slower, and contact ensues. We've seen it a million times before, and
absolutely.
I'm not even too certain, Adam, we'll get through this one without another caution.
Yeah, I'm hearing that they are actually telling the pace car 60 miles an hour is the pace limit. So there's been another warning issued about pace speed. So let's see if they can tighten it up and get it going real good this time, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, these guys got to maintain pace speed instead of playing games at the front. Those games will cause problems. Here we go. Carnathan leads him on down. Willis trying to hang on the outside.
flag.
Green flag drops, so they waited for the green that time. Carnathan still jumps out. Oh, and Willis missed a
Oh,
shift.
wow.
He misses shifts and takes out Chilton. That puts Carnathan way out in front. Leiter up to second. Here comes Keith in that Chiefs car. He's going to come up into third around Gregory.
Wow, you got to hate that for Phillip Willis and Jason Chilton.
Presley trying to
Wow.
make some moves. Here comes Long. Presley washing up the track a little bit. He stays off the wall barely. Final lap. Stan Carnathan got it under control. The battle back here for third, fourth, fifth, and beyond. Presley still working over William Mann. Can't get anything done. Here comes Keith Long underneath Presley. All along, Stan Carnathan coming around, gonna take the checkered flag here in the Las Vegas 100. Leiter with a heck of an effort coming up there. Keith, Gregory, William Mann. You got Presley in 6th, Long in 7th. McCrave returns to the top 10 to finish 8th. Menepace in 9th and Condi in 10th. And we got some wrecking going on post-race here, but Stan Carnathan gets it done, and the carnage was early on with Willis and Chilton.
Man, that was quite an interesting restart, and it definitely changed the finish of the race.
Let's get a look in on that and see what happened between Chilton and Willis. You see here, we're at the restart. Everything looking fairly good. The 83 a Leiter all over Willis. They're trying to time it. Nothing doing here as Carnathan gets the better launch. Oh, and that violent, I mean, he missed a shift or something. It looked exactly what it looked like. Willis missing a shift, and it just turned that car down into poor Chilton, who worked so hard and won't come away with any results for it.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Well, quite a wild finish there. Not for our leader, though. Stan Carnathan comes out of here with a victory, doing a great job. Right now, let's take a short commercial break from one of our sponsors, Shorba's Racing Designs. Welcome back to the Las Vegas 100, where Stan Carnathan took that victory. Adam, final thoughts here at this race and this finish to this race.
Wow, how fast things can change.
Can't they, though?
Stan showed a lot of composure, and he was one of the guys that kind of shook it up, and the way he went around the leader for the lead to get where he was, that was impressive. That showed a lot of muscle tonight, Dean.
Man, did it ever. It showed a ton of muscle. You could see early on he was thinking, he was learning, he was improving. But we got another guy in here who went through his own trials and tribulations tonight. That's the 48, Mr. Trevor Keith. Trevor,
Yes, sir.
congratulations on getting up here and getting a finish that at times looked like you might be a winner. At times you look like a definite top 3. And at times you look like, oh boy, you might be in trouble.
Yeah, these things after long runs, I didn't have enough practice, deer hunting today, and so I didn't realize that the long runs, these things snap loose really hard off the corners, and you saw it. And then I never saved it. I saved it like 3 different times. Ended up in the pits. Thought I was going to go like multiple laps down, and then caution comes out, saves me, keeps me on the lead lap. Thankful for that. Drove back from the back up to 3rd, so I guess it wasn't too bad. And after that,
Yeah, well, you just you kind of highlighted something there, like practice. Unable to do it out there. Hopefully, getting a buck, Trevor. I hope you got one. But it's very important to kind of learn what the car and the changes it'll go through. How much did you learn? Let's say by halfway about what the car wanted from you.
Oh yeah, so when the little time I did practice, I was noticing the bottom was really fast. In practice, the track tempo was a little bit more, and the top was slower, but you saved some tire. So I was running about the middle there, and that's where I kept snapping loose. So I was either picking either get to the bottom or stay on top, and you're going to be fast either way there. If you're in the draft on the top, you're going to get a good run off the straightaways. Uh, the bottom was still kind of faster, but the draft helps a lot though when you're on the top. So.
Absolutely, it does. Well, you come out here, man, like I said, with just a fantastic recovery. A touch of luck there with some guys wrecking at the end, but you definitely take third place. Now we move forward. We go to Chicagoland, same cars. So we're going to get, back-to-back races here in the next gen. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, actually, I'm season ticket holder for the Chiefs, so I won't make it next week. This is only my second race. Kind of busy time with football and stuff going on. Go to all the Chiefs games. But
Yeah. I don't know if I got anything bad to say to you, Trevor. You're going buck hunting. You're going to Chiefs game. I think I might want to trade with you.
yeah, it's a fun life, and then you do iRacing, and I've raced 2 races here, finished third in this league in both races, so can't complain too much about what I got going on.
No, we can't complain about seeing you up here. Congrats on you. Beautiful looking car. Hope the Chiefs won for you today. And
Bye
congrats
week.
on third place, Trevor. Oh, they're on the bye, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, congrats, brother. We'll see you. When we see you, Trevor.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
All right. That was Trevor Keith, our third place finisher, Adam. Adam. Apparently, I moved myself out of the room, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know how I did that. But anyway, Adam, that was our third place finisher. I believe he's sitting with our second place finisher.
Yeah, you later. How's it going, man? You got a great finish tonight, and tell us all about your race and how the car drove, and how do you feel about finishing second after that wild restart?
I feel kind of bad for wrecking Willis, in all honesty, but he said he had missed a shift or accidentally downshifted or did something to cause the car to suddenly jump. I do feel good finishing second, although that's not the way I would have wanted to do it. I would have rather have done it cleanly. But hey, it's good racing. That setup though, Pay to Win did a very good job with the setup. The only real issue we all ran into was about 13, 14 laps into it. The car just started to plow if you tried to push it too hard. So that was something that everyone was having to work with. I don't think that's something that Pay to Win could honestly fix, but it was a very good setup that they brought.
Did you feel like that you had to use some patience and change up your driving lines to help save that tire in the front during that 15, 16 lap run?
To an extent, it was more about how aggressive you were. Yes, you had to kind of stay patient. This is a track where if you push too hard, you're going to ruin the tires and you're not going to be able to have the same speed as other people. When I was practicing with Julian earlier, he had said the way he thought about it was if people want to drive that bottom, fly by you, let them fly by, you'll get them in 10 laps when your tires are fresher.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm glad you got through all the carnage tonight. And you got anybody you want to thank right now for your racing and whatnot? Go ahead. You got the floor, man.
Just everyone who sponsored the league. I may not know them all by name as I'm still learning them, but all of y'all who sponsored the league, you two who broadcast the event, and the people who watch, as well as the people who put this race together. This is an amazing league. I understand sometimes it can look like a wreck fest. We're all just out here for fun. We're here to have fun, and stuff happens.
All right, Matthew Leiter, congrats, man, on second place. What a
Grazie.
job. What a recovery, man.
Yeah.
All right, right now we bring in the 82. That is Stan Carnathan, race winner here in the Las Vegas 100. Congratulations, Stan.
Hey, appreciate that, man. How are you guys?
Doing just great. Not as good as you, though, down there pouring champagne all over the damn place. What a race for you, man. Early on, we're watching you race and we're thinking, I think he's figuring a little something out here. Did you figure something out early on in that first run?
Yeah, I've turned a lot of laps at Vegas in an open set, and so this is pretty similar with the open fix set from Pay to Win. And yeah, I mean, really, I think if we'd had a green flag pit stop in there, I think I would have had the lead on the long run. Those first two runs, I definitely was taking it easy, and then realized we're not going to get the green run, so I was running pretty hard. And then the five stayed out, wrecked one of the other, pretty fast cars, and junked a bunch of others. So it kind of worked out there at the end with the way the green white checkers fell and where the accidents kind of came from.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys are going to be upset, obviously, with a couple of wrecks and some
Oh
bad
yeah.
luck, but other people's bad fortune and some good fortune for you, Stan. I'm not so sure you needed it or wanted it, but you end up in victory lane, man. And I like the way you're driving out there. If we had a long run, how were you feeling about, if you had to go like say 40 laps?
Oh, real good, real good. I had saved the tires. I was lifting a little bit more on entry and rolling back into the throttle, um, on exit to kind of save the front and the rear. So in a long run, I was gonna be good,
That's kind
and
of kind of
then
what I figured, Stan. I wanted to also touch on the lines. I noticed that you moved up the track, or maybe you're always there, but especially early in the run, we noticed in the first run, guys up on the high side early were really tough. Were you noticing the same thing?
yeah. Again, I wasn't trying to be super aggressive early in the run, early in the race. So, if they wanted the outside, I'd give them the outside. I was trying to run the bottom. I felt really good on the outside on the restarts on cold tires, but um, I was able to hold off, a pass there. I think two or three times by running the top side. And a guy would get loose on the bottom coming off too. So again, a lot of laps around this track. I love Vegas, and really excited to be able to pull this one out.
Well, man, you move up a spot in the standings. Only in 11th right now, Stan. I think that'll change as we go forward. And speaking of going forward, we go to Chicagoland. We stay with the next gen cars. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, it'll be another tire saving event. If you can figure out how to roll the top, um, you're gonna probably have a chance. But I mean, these next gens are tough in dirty air, so you're gonna want to be up front.
They are indeed tough, but you're tough, Stan. You tough out a victory here. Congratulations to you on this victory at Las Vegas. And if you got any shout outs, anybody you want to thank, now's the time.
I appreciate you guys at Wind Tunnel and the admins that put their time and effort into making this thing go. My team, Eons Motorsports, and cornbreadhemp.com, Kentucky made hemp products, CBD oils. Check them out, 30% off. Here for another 24 hours or so in the month of October.
All right. A great job and a great victory there, Adam. Stan Carnathan, your champion.
Yeah, congratulations, Dan.
So, looking forward now, I mean, you think these guys kind of got it figured out? Little shuffling in the points, nothing too major. Long's up. Willis stays where he is. But you think we're starting to learn a little something about these guys? And are these guys learning a little something about each other now?
Yes, I think there is. You definitely can tell who's got the feel for certain cars more than the others. We see our front runners, and Stan has been one of those guys that has been good in just about everything. He's had some tough breaks, but and Matthew, Joe Gregory, he was on the pole a couple weeks ago. It's good to see William Mann Sr. got a good finish. I'm really excited to see what we got next week, Dean.
Absolutely. Speaking of next week, it's the Extreme Power League every Sunday, 6:50 p.m. We'll have all your coverage. But for myself, Dean Doucette, and for Mr. Adam Newton, that'll wrap it up from Las Vegas here in the Extreme Power League. We'll see you next time right here on Wind Tunnel TV.